Greetings! How's it going, everybody? Time for some Star Trek. Toon Man says, I like the pitch shifting in the music. It's like an old record. I don't know if it's actually supposed to do that. That might be a streaming issue. Anyway, welcome. Seems like we were just here. That's because we were. Yes, it's time already for another Cooking with Z stream. Looking to get a lot done today, if not almost all of kind of what I want to do initially. So we're going to be doing the breakfast hash today. I figured we'd do that because it's the one that requires the most preparation and it's the biggest pain in the ass to do. So, yeah. So basically the breakfast hash, for those who have never seen me make it before, we have 4 different kinds of peppers. So we got yellow, red, blue. No, we got orange, yellow, red, and green. It's the only one that's not in the package for some reason. So we got 4 different kinds of bell peppers, or capsicum, if you're in one of those parts of the world, and a couple fresh onions. Got some fresh ground pork, which we're going to turn into breakfast sausage meat, and then we have hash browns, country style hash browns, just great value. I actually wanted the McCain, but the McCain was too damn expensive, so I went with the great value country style, which is, you know, pretty close to homemade. Now, yes, I do have 10 pounds of potatoes. I could have just chopped up some potatoes and done that, but I've never done it with fresh potatoes before, and I'm not sure how well they would freeze. At least with the frozen hash browns, I know that they freeze well because, well, they're frozen. So we're just going to stick with those, and then everything else is going to be fresh ingredients. Now, I've washed my 2 big bowls, so we're actually going to do 2 full batches simultaneously. Just cut everything up, put them in the bowls, and get everything done. So first things first, I think what we'll do is we'll actually get the ground pork going, because we need to pre-cook that before we put it in with the breakfast hash. So with the ground pork, we have, let's see, we need some sage, and because we need so much of it, I got a second one. So for those who want to see what it looks like, sage, there you go. So we need sage, and we need salt and pepper. We'll use the salt and pepper. We'll use the nice fresh ground stuff because it's good. This is actually sea salt in this. It's quite good. And then what else do we need here? Can you tell I have the recipe on the fridge because I make it so often? I'll memorize it eventually. We need some marjoram. That's marjoram. Marjoram leaves. not margarine. And then we need some brown sugar. Got a big thing of brown sugar here. It's actually the yellow sugar, but whatever. It's brown enough. And then we got, and then the red pepper flakes. Really like these a lot. I usually put more in than what the recipe calls for. And then what I like to say is optional. You can actually have some ground cloves in there as well. Cloves are ridiculously potent. You literally just need a pinch, like just done. They're that strong. Like if you put any more in there, it's just going to be cloves, and that's all you're going to taste. So I think this time around we're actually going to skip the cloves and just go with everything else. Okay, so big gigantic knife that is far more than I need to open these packages just because. Well, just because. There we go. So I'm going to bring you guys a little closer because I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff on the counter here. So I'm going to try to give you a better view of what I'm doing. I'm just going to check the angle there. Okay, that's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so basically, hold on, I'm just going to put the other light on so you get some more light on the subject here. Hey, Chelsea's here. Thanks, Chelsea, for the follow. Much obliged. I finally saw your selfie, by the way, in the Selfies and Shelfies. Absolutely adorable. And the stuffy was pretty cute, too. Let's see. Okay. Got my phone up there so I can keep an eye on the chat. Alright, so we just open these up here. So this is a full kilogram of ground pork. I probably could have got a little bit more. I didn't really think as to how much I would need, but this should be sufficient. It's not going to be like, it's not like the meaty pasta where the meat is one of the main ingredients you really want to just go to town with. It's more just to have a little bit of protein in with the breakfast hash, so you don't need a crazy amount of it. And then for the spices, because, you know, it's not a massive amount of spices. I usually just use one of these little containers. These are little ice cream containers, actually, so you can put ice cream in there. And I'll show you something. They also come with little color-coordinated spoons. Very nice. I used to have 4 different colors: blue, pink, green, and purple. Rosie decided she wanted to make her own chocolate bar one day, so she put a bunch of chocolate, or chocolate sauce, or I don't know what she was doing. Anyway, she put a bunch of chocolate into one of these and just like microwaved it forever, and it basically melted part of the plastic and destroyed it, so we don't have the blue one anymore. That's my little story. Alright, so now let's have our measuring spoons here. What do we need? There's the tablespoon one, the teaspoon one, and then what else? The quarter teaspoon one. Where the hell's that one? Oh, there it is. Quarter teaspoon, and I think the rest I just kind of eyeball. Okay, good. So we need, I'm just gonna actually move the recipe over here so I don't have to keep leaning into the fridge. Alright. I got this recipe from allrecipes.com, by the way. Great site for all kinds of recipes, as you would think. So what do we need? We need 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. Always keep your brown sugar well sealed so that it doesn't dry out, because it can dry out and then it becomes like brown cement. So I always keep it very tightly sealed and then twist tied. Quite nice in coffee, actually. Brown sugar has a very different kind of texture to it than regular sugar. Of course, it's more kind of squishy. It's like sand, almost like sand, like wet sand. Yeah, Toon Man says I've had the brown sugar brick before. Yeah, and you're like stabbing it, trying to break off a chunk that you can put into your coffee or cereal or whatever you like to put it in. Okay, 2 teaspoons of sage. Alright, so this one we're actually just going to take the top off. There we go, so that's 1. Yeah, if you give sage a whiff, like if you know your breakfast food, and you've had breakfast sausages before, if you give sage a whiff, you'll immediately say, "Oh yeah, breakfast sausages," because this is the primary spice right here. As you can see, it's the one we put the most of in there. All right, so that's all I got left in there. So I'm glad I had the foresight to buy another one a little while ago. Alright, and then what else do we need? We need the marjoram. 1/4 teaspoon of marjoram leaves. Yeah, this one, marjoram is pretty mild. I don't know that it really does a ton for the flavor, but it does give it that, you like to have little flakes of spice in there just to kind of spruce it up a bit. And then we need, looks like sugar, or salt. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know how well this is going to work. We'll just kind of eyeball it. Alright, that should be sufficient. Just kind of have in my head how many turns it is. So we'll do the same with the pepper here. There we go. Okay, good. Gotta love the fresh ground, eh? And then what else do we need? We need the crushed red pepper flakes. Yeah, crushed red pepper flakes, I don't even bother measuring, because I like them. And you basically just mix it all up with your fingers. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Smell right? Yeah. You know what? I think I will put the cloves in. Cloves. Be very, very careful with this shit. Serious. Look at that. That's literally all you need. That's it. You might think, like, that's such a small amount. Are you even going to taste it? Are you even going to smell it? Yes. Absolutely, yes, you will. Cloves are so frickin' powerful. It's ridiculous. That one little jar is going to last me, like, probably 20 years. Seriously. Like, it's ridiculous how powerful they are. Okay. So now... yeah, see, now I can smell the cloves, like, clear as day. But it actually does complement the sage nicely. So, as I say, the trick is not to put too much in. I'm actually going to put a little bit more sage in there, I think. Yeah, we'll just use up the rest of that. That's fine. There's not much left. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, so let me just get in there with our hands. Mix it all up. That's right, Chelsea, cooking with Sean. I haven't eaten anything today, so I'm probably going to make a batch of, or you know, one portion of these this breakfast hash for myself while we do other stuff. Just want to get right in there, make sure it's well mixed into the meat, and then yeah, that should be good. Give it a sniff, you know. Ground pork tends to be very sticky. It doesn't really kind of break up in your hands as much as ground beef. I don't know why. More fatty, I guess. So the fat makes it stickier. But that's alright. It's alright, governor. I am cooking breakfast hash. I guess you weren't here right at the beginning, so I'll quickly go over it again in a sec here. So for those of you who just joined us, so what I just made here, this is breakfast sausage meat. So the breakfast sausage meat is the same kind of, it's what you would have as the filling in like a breakfast sausage or in a breakfast sausage round. That's what this is. So I got a recipe for it so I can make it myself. And so that's what that is. And in addition to that, you can see all the veggies that I just moved off the stove there. That, we're going to chop them all up and then have kind of cube them, and then we're going to mix them into some hash browns. So we have this nice breakfast hash that I can freeze, and then in the morning, rather than having to make a massive pile of food for breakfast, I can just fry up one of those. I've done it before, and it is absolutely heavenly. It's a wonderful way to start the day. So we'll make some, once I've got the batch done here, just turn that on. We'll make a serving of it, and you can see what our breakfast will look like with it. It's very good. So basically it's hash browns, breakfast sausage meat, like seasoned breakfast sausage meat, 4 different kinds of bell peppers, and onions, all mixed together into this wonderful smorgasbord of deliciousness. Gotta wash this out because we're going to need this. I made this on stream before, but I think it was before your time, Chelsea. Alrighty, so this is done. Let's put all these back on the spice rack here. Yeah, you can see it doesn't quite break up as much right away like the ground beef does, but that's okay. It'll break up more once it cooks a bit. You just want to kind of get it distributed. There we go. Alright, that one's done. Chuck it. this back in the cupboard. Set these aside to clean later. Move this. Move those. Put this back on the fridge. So the main thing with the breakfast sausage is just the mix of spices. That's literally it. You just need to know what spices to use and what portions to use them in, and that's pretty much it. And you can make your own breakfast sausage. It's great. So the recipe I have makes about 1 kilogram of breakfast sausage meat. And you can do what I'm doing here and just turn it into a crumble that you can add into omelets or hash browns or whatever. Or you can make patties and have breakfast sausage rounds. I do that quite often as well. I love it when onions make you cry. There's always that one onion that wants to make your eyes water. And greetings, Val, you sadist. Not yet. That hasn't been an hour yet. I'm about to cut vegetables, though, so here's hoping there will be grievous injuries and blood spurting everywhere. Should I do it over here, maybe? I don't know, I'm going to see what the angle's like. Hold on. Wow, actually this camera is much wider angle than I realized. Like, you can see the whole frickin' counter. Awesome. Go Logitech. Alrighty. So, a few things. I guess we'll do the onions first because they don't really require any washing. I'm just going to peel them. Oh, actually, yeah, I just remembered what I usually like to do is have a bag here. Just easier. Go. Now you can see this is already starting to cook up, so we're just going to flip it over. Now, break it up a little easier. Essentially, you want to break it up as much as possible, much like if you're making a pasta sauce or something, because you just want like a crumble that you can put in with all the other stuff. It's meant to be an additive, not the main thing. Just to have some protein in there. And I mean, presumably you're going to be having this on the side with some eggs or something anyway, so you don't need like crazy amounts of protein. But I mean, it's up to you. Sometimes I'll put extra in, like I'll use a full kilogram of this for each batch. And, you know, and then it's a full-on meal. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. This looks like it's making a fair amount, so that's good. Alright, so let's just get these peeled here. I'm sure there's some master chef's trick to peeling onions that makes it go much faster, but I don't know what that is. So hey, Gordon Ramsay, if you're watching, what's the trick to peeling onions quickly? Because, you know, Gordon watches my show all the time. We're big fans of each other. Yeah, no, not really. He likes to watch so he can scream at the screen at all the stupid mistakes I'm making. That one. Let's chop off the nasty ends. There we go. Let's give this a stir here. Smelling good. See, I wanted to cook this up first so that it would be cooled by the time we add it to everything else. And then I can just kind of break it up further with my hands. Go. Next, see, this one's peeling a little more easily. No idea why. Don't know what I did different. Just the personality of the onion, I guess. Okay. Alright, good. So it looks like this is almost done. So it'll be 1 onion per bowl, essentially. Slowest sous chef in the world. Do 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 do. Slowest sous chef in the world. The sous chef generally is the one that does all of the prep. They can also cook everything that the chef cooks, so they can fill in as need be. But they also do all of the prep, so all the pre-cutting of the vegetables and whatever else needs to be done. So they tend to be, a good sous chef can do all that stuff really quickly and efficiently. I.e., not me. Actually, onions are probably the easiest thing to cut because they don't really require any prep other than peeling them. So when we get to the peppers, that's the pain in the ass because you gotta clean them, then you gotta scoop out all the innards, and yeah, it's just a big pain in the ass. Alright, just gonna give this a little stir here. Out. Alright, this is done. So we're just going to let this sit off the heat to cool down for a little while. And you may be thinking, hey Sean, last time you did this you had that cool vegetable slicer. Yes, I still have it. However, the one drawback of that is I find if you're not careful, you end up mincing everything, and I kind of prefer everything to be kind of nice cube shapes. Cubes of hash browns with cubes of veggies and cubes of meat. Well, not really cubes of meat, but you know what I mean. I like it all to be kind of a little more consistent, so I decided this time around we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way and just cut everything with a big, dangerous knife. Everybody's like, I heard an ow. I heard an ow. Did you hear the ow? I heard an ow. Like a bunch of vultures, I swear. Always waiting for the ow. You don't watch the cooking show to learn how to cook. You watch to see me injure myself. I see how it is. Ow. Yes. Oh, that sausage meat smells really good. You can add other stuff in here if you want to. I mean, if you like a little more garlic, you can put some garlic in there. But I don't know, I find that the onions just kind of complement everything nicely, so that's what I go with. kind of onions I'm going with here, just your standard sort of yellow cooking onions, nothing fancy. You can get them cheap at any supermarket. That's one onion. So we'll be doing this I guess 10 times. We got 10 vegetables to chop up. After this we'll be getting down to the peppers. I always turn this when it gets to the other side, because one time I was cutting and I guess the skin was a little tough on the outer layer, and the knife slipped and I sliced my finger. So when it gets down to kind of the ramp on the side of the onion like that, I turn it around. I do that with potatoes too. So that way if it slides down the ramp, it goes away from my fingers instead of towards. I learned that the hard way. A lot of chefs don't care, they just don't cut themselves because they're careful. So they don't bother with that, but yeah, whatever. Nice when it just sticks to the knife, then I can just move it right over to the bowl. Handy dandy. What the hell, why is this not broken up? There we go. Guys down here, and then I can kind of read as we go. Except now I'm too blind, I can't read it from there. Alright. So what I find is I remember this date 19 years ago well. I had a thing at my church and then drove home. Nice calm evening. No idea how much the world was about to change the next morning. Was that 9/11? I'm assuming, considering that's like tomorrow. Yeah, the first I heard about it was, this was around the time that I was still kind of involved with Liz, who was this really nice girl who was a barista at a local Starbucks, and we dated for a little while. It didn't really work out, so we just kind of became friends. So anyway, I was on my customary ungodly late schedule, so I was asleep, and I get this was a time when I was poor, very, like, even more poor than now. I didn't have the internet and I didn't have cable TV. So I was a little out of touch with the current events of the world sometimes. So anyway, she calls me in the morning and I'm like, oh, hi. And she says, did you hear? I'm like, did I hear what? I've been asleep. It's like, some terrorists just crashed some planes into the World Trade Center. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, there was like 3 planes smashed into the World Trade Center. It's all like just destroyed. I'm like, holy shit. And I said, and my first thought was, well, we're going to war. Like, that's it. But of course that didn't turn out quite as we thought initially. It was, you know, of course the war on terror, but it wasn't fought on our soil. It was taken overseas to where it was thought the attacks originated from. But yeah, it was pretty scary at the time. So because I didn't have cable, I asked Liz if I could come over to her place and you know, watch the news. And She said it was okay. I think she was going out of town actually, so I just kind of looked after her place, brought my VCR over, and I recorded CNN for hours and hours and hours just to get all the live coverage I could. So all told, I think I have about 24 or so hours worth of news broadcasts from that week. And then I was part of the tape trading community at the time, like VHS tape trading community. So one of my fellow collectors, I made an arrangement with him to trade some stuff, and he had the first 6 hours of CNN broadcast. I guess he just recorded the news all the time normally, so he actually had the breaking event as it happened, which was quite shocking to see, like just to see it all kind of play out in real time like that. But yeah, I mean, that was an example of something that changed a lot of aspects of the world we live in. And the situation now, politically, climate change, and especially with the pandemic, is another one of those events. Or basically it's... Why are you laughing, Dale? It's not even remotely funny. Just so you know, lol is not a catch-all reaction to absolutely everything anyone says ever. It's specifically for when you find something funny. Just so you know. Oh, as he said, actually. Well, actually, I try, but I just don't get how your brain works sometimes, Dale. He said, actually. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my god, I can't breathe. I'm laughing so hard. He said, actually. Whoa. I'm gonna pee. He said, actually. Ah! Anyway. Yeah, so that was the first I'd heard of it, and it was kind of hit home a little bit for Liz and I, because she had just recently gone to New York and taken photos at the base of the World Trade Center. So, yeah. So it was just a little bit too real. She was kind of dabbled in amateur photography, so and she traveled a little bit, so she would take pictures wherever she went. And then World Trade Center was one of the places that she had gone recently. Now everybody is laughing. So, you guys. Okay. So, we got all our peppers. We gotta wash them. Gotta wash them all. Pretty easy things to wash, I gotta say. So basically, it'd be one of each in each batch here. Now these are not hot peppers; these are actually sweet peppers. Quite tasty, quite flavorful. It's funny. As a kid, I never used to like peppers. Now I love them. Not to the point where I'd sit down and just like bite into a pepper, but I find I use them in my cooking almost constantly now. They just give them a really nice flavor. These two in particular, red and green, I find have a really distinct flavor to them. I remember growing up, whenever my parents would make barbecue steak dinner, yeah, we had a barbecue. We grew up Cass and I grew up in the suburbs, basically. So, summer barbecues were definitely a thing. So, I remember my dad, whenever he would make us steak, he would also grill some red peppers. So you have these wonderful barbecued red peppers, and even though I wasn't a big pepper fan, I actually liked those. Like when he would make those, they were really good. I'm just going to give this a little flip here just to kind of unseal the heat on the bottom, as we want this to be cooled by the time we have everything done. Yeah, because I want to be able to just kind of break it up with my hands a little bit more. Alright, so we'll do the green ones first, I guess. I'm actually just going to move these over to the other counter here so I can bring one of the bowls over. Yeah, I'll do the green ones first because they're the biggest ones. Alright. Hey, you guys. Which actually did not originate from the Goonies. It originated from Rita the Director, who was a character on The Electric Company, a children's television workshop production. Yes, the people who brought you Sesame Street from the late 70s, I guess mid-70s. And hey, you guys is something that she would always say. And that's where Sloth got it from, because Sloth, being basically a big kid, would watch kids shows all the time, right? That's where it came from. I know because I, as a child of the 70s and 80s, used to watch The Electric Company. In fact, I even used to subscribe to the magazine. They had an Electric Company magazine. It was great. I've still got a bunch of issues of it. The ones that Annetta didn't make me get rid of. It was cool because they'd have little articles about movies and stuff that were coming up, and interviews with stars, and anything that was of interest to kids of the era, you know. Yeah, see, Val knows. Val knows The Electric Company. That was the one, now you guys might know it as where Spidey Super Stories came from. It was narrated by Morgan Freeman. In fact, Morgan Freeman played a recurring character on The Electric Company called Easy Reader. And he was all about helping kids to learn how to read. So, it was pretty cool. So Easy Reader was this cool cat who would present easy-to-read stories for the kids. Not literally a cat. He was like this guy with, shades, and he was just a cool dude, man. He was a cool dude. Alright, so we're going to chop this up here. Just like Lawrence Fishburne, Morpheus, started as Cowboy Curtis on the Pee Wee Herman show, Morgan Freeman kind of got his first big gig as Easy Reader on The Electric Company. So anyway, Rita was this loudmouth director who was supposedly the director of the show. She wasn't, it was just a character. But, and she would always yell, "Hey, you guys!" when they were ready to do a scene. So, there you go. The more you know. I hope today I helped you all learn something. But Spidey Super Stories, which was the Spider-Man segment, had its own comic book, which was a tie-in with the show. but also it was the first ever time that Spider-Man appeared in live action. He would speak in thought balloons. So you'd have to read his thought balloons to know what he was saying. Clever, huh? And of course, because it was Spider-Man, kids would definitely make an effort to read what he was saying. Because, you know, Spider-Man, I gotta know what he's saying. That's right, Morgan Freeman being cool and all about books. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you might be able to find a few clips on YouTube. I know you can find some of the Spider-Man clips on YouTube. I went back and looked at them a while back, just kind of, you know, feeling nostalgic. And I was like, oh, I had completely forgotten that it was Morgan Freeman who narrates them. But yeah, easy reader, man. I wish kids today were more enthusiastic about reading, you know. I was talking to Rose about this, because Rose, as most of you will know, is a voracious reader. And she said, and this just warmed my heart, that she couldn't understand kids who don't like to read. It's like, what the hell's wrong with them? Like, I don't know. But, because, I mean, her take on it is she enjoys a good story, you know? And some of the greatest stories ever are in books. Not everything's been adapted into a movie or a TV series, you know? So, if you want to experience some of these great stories, well, you're going to have to read the book. So, definitely proud of my little girl. But for her, I mean, she's very much adopted my philosophy is it doesn't really matter what the medium is, if it's a book or a comic or a cartoon or a video game or a movie or a TV series. Doesn't matter. All that matters is it a good story? That's it. The medium does not matter. So, I mean, every medium has its strengths and weaknesses as far as the kinds of stories you can tell, and they have certain advantages or disadvantages over other mediums for telling certain types of stories. You know, like in books, for example, and comics, you can get right into the thoughts of the characters a lot more easily than you can in a movie. I mean, some movies do kind of do that, where, like, I remember Dune, you would hear the thoughts of the characters as whispers, which I thought was kind of a clever way to do it. Or sometimes you'd hear it as a character narrating to themselves. You know, that works too. But most of the time, even when they do that, it's not as in-depth as you would get in a book. Like, because with a book, you can get into their whole thought process and, like, segue into other things that tie into the moment they're thinking about or whatever. I mean, there's more you can do with that sort of thing. If you try to do that in a movie, it would just start to drag, and it just wouldn't be as effective. But with books, no such problem. You can see this is going to take forever. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. I actually do have a shortcut for these. It's been so long since I did them this way, I forgot. What we can do is actually line up a few of them. There we go. So now, yeah, there we go. Look at that. 3 at a time. Sweet. Oh, hey, I just realized those onions didn't make me cry. That's so rare. Usually at least one of them will, but nope, not this time. Well, that's very true, and I think that's 780 episodes. Well, no, the thing is, Electric Company, I don't think really hit the international markets. I think it was really just in the U.S. and Canada. And because I know I would see it on PBS. And PBS is strictly a North America thing. It just doesn't exist outside of North America. But yeah, I mean, there's stuff, say, in Britain that's had just as many episodes, some of which are still going. Like, ever heard of Blue Peter? Blue Peter is a sort of children's, almost like a children's news show in a way, that's been going for decades. Like, as longer than Doctor Who, actually. And it's never appeared over here. Just never appeared on our shores. It's a very distinctly Britain thing. But as a British kid, British kids would be intimately familiar with it. It's like, oh yeah, of course, I used to watch Blue Peter all the time when I was a kid. You know. The reason I know it is from Doctor Who, because they would frequently do little Doctor Who segments and whatnot, have actors from the show come on, or special effects people to come in and talk about things, or they try to recreate props or whatever from the show, and as a little arts and crafts thing for the viewers, and stuff like that. So that's mainly where I know it from, because they would have those clips in the extras for Doctor Who. Blake 7 as well, actually. They did some Blake 7 stuff too back when it was on, which was interesting to me because Blake 7 was decidedly not a kids show compared to Doctor Who. But I guess they knew a lot of kids watching it. Holy moly! Cheese Nips dropping the gift subs. Thanks so much, dude. Wow. Wow! That's awesome, dude. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that. Well, hello, Kralatin. How's it going? I think you just missed possibly getting a gift sub. I don't know if you were in the list there. I didn't notice. Poor Kralatin. Oh, you already have one. Okay, never mind. I just always assume you don't have one and that you're like grifting for one. Is that the right term? I don't know. Begging. Well, begging just seems too blatant. There's got to be a more intellectually stimulating term for what Kralatin does. That's just it. Okay, there we go. So far so good. We got onions and green peppers in there. Let's swap. And we'll do the same with the other one. So I say 10 veggies total. We've done 3. Done 3. And the meat. And we're an hour into the stream. Excellent. I would be kicked out of Hell's Kitchen so fucking fast. I wouldn't make it like halfway through the first episode. So I got nothing but mad respect for the people who do that, even the ones that I hate. Well, actually, I don't really hate any of them. They're just certain ones are more likable than others, I guess. You know? No, I don't hate anybody on that show. Well, mostly. contestants on the show I've outright hated because of how that... Well, yeah, I suppose, yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of generalizing. There's definitely been some that I was like, holy shit, get over yourself, stop being so arrogant and egotistical, and yeah. And there was one season where one of those people made it to the finals, and I'm like, oh my god, no, please don't let this asshole win. Thank God he didn't. I would have been like, are you fucking serious? Because, see, that's the thing, is some people misinterpret what it is Gordon Ramsay does as far as chewing out his chefs. And what he's doing is he's looking for the spark, the passion, the fire. He wants somebody who is going to bring their A game every time. So that's what Hell's Kitchen is about testing people and putting them through the paces to see if they've got what it takes. It's boot camp for chefs. So a lot of people misinterpret what he does, like that he's just yelling at them to be abusive and shit, and like, no, he's not, because when he's out of the kitchen, he's like the sweetest, nicest, funniest guy you could ever possibly hope to meet. But when you're in his kitchen, in particular, he wants you bringing your A game. And if you're not, if he feels you are not only sabotaging him by being shitty, but also not being as good as he feels you have the potential to be, he is going to chew you out. It is about bringing out the best in every chef, seeing what they've got, and pushing them to their limit. And that's what it's about. That's why he yells at them, because he's trying to ignite that fire. And he doesn't yell at them just to be abusive. He yells at them to see if they've got the fire to push back. To actually, you know, not so much like, not saying like talk back to him, but to fight back, to fight for, you know, to stay and to keep pushing themselves and to do better. Like, that's one of the reasons why he does that, is to see what kind of passion. It's part of seeing if they have the passion and the drive to do it, right? So a lot of people misinterpret that as him just being a dick to everybody, but it really is not. When you watch the show for a while, you pick up on that and you see, you know, what it actually is and what he's actually trying to achieve. I mean, yeah, it's an extreme way of doing things, but it works. I mean, he has some of the best chefs in the world working for him, and that's why, because they had the drive, they had the passion, and they proved it to him. So, you know. Saw the video where I blew up the car. Wait, oh, the going to the gas station. Just that. Oh, gas. Yeah. That was pretty funny. Definitely not how I expected things to go. Jensen Ackles is going to be on The Boys Season 3. I haven't seen a single episode of that yet. I heard it's really good. I think I saw a couple GIFs from it, and I liked some of the dialogue in it. I'll have to check it out at some point. Good show. Oh, The Boys? Yeah, that's what I've heard. I heard the comic's really good, too. It's based on a comic, of course, I'm sure most of you know. Oh. Oh, absolutely. Carl Urban's amazing. he honestly deserves to be a much bigger star, I think, because he's so dedicated to the roles that he plays, and always brings something interesting to them, you know. Loved him as Dredd, loved him as McCoy in the Star Trek movies. Even the Doom movie, the old Doom movie, he was in that, alongside The Rock. The Rock was just kind of, you know, almost like a parody of himself in it. But Carl Urban was actually genuinely good. I mean, his character got the most development out of all of them, certainly, and was the most interesting. I think I talked about that in my review a while back. This kid is going places. Get all the white, nasty stuff out of there. Yeah, with the breakfast hash, it's like 90% prep. Pretty much. But so worth it, because when all is said and done, once this is all finished, this will be a nice, quick and easy breakfast, full of goodness, that I can just throw into a pan and fry up in the morning and enjoy, you know? It's good shit. That's fun. So when I prepare this as a meal prep thing, like when I take it out of the freezer one morning to have it, I pan fry it. Pan fry it with a little bit of margarine. You want the peppers and onions to be a little bit soft, with a little bit of crunch to them still, and the hash browns to be nice and crispy. And that's the idea. The meat you don't have to worry about because it's already cooked. So really it's just kind of reheating the meat, but frying everything else. And I just do it from frozen. Well, partly frozen. I usually take it out the night before. So it's a little bit thawed, but still mostly frozen. Just enough that I can break it up. Otherwise it tends to be kind of a block of ice because of all the, you know, all the moisture from the veggies in particular. It just makes it all frozen. So happy to see all of you taking advantage of September here on Twitch. For those of you watching this on YouTube or somewhere later, this is being filmed in September. And of course it's September, first time subs, and I think gift subs are 20% off the usual price. So you get to save some money there. Alright, so we got peppers and onions in this one too. On to the next one. Let's do the orange pepper. These are pretty small. I think we'll gut both of them before we do them here. Always get all the seeds out. And the nasty white bits. Well, the white bits aren't really nasty. They don't really have any flavor to them. I kind of prefer to just have it be the delicious flesh of the peppers, you know. It's great. And just basically pop the cork, you know. Oh, damn it. Seeds everywhere. Well, not really, but enough to be annoying. Grab all those in a sec here. I want them all over the floor. Doctor Who? Good old Doctor Who. My old friend, the Doctor. So I guess the Classic Series Blu-ray sets are on hold because of the pandemic. Someone was asking me about that earlier today, and I was like, well, I'm assuming they're on hold because of the pandemic, because of you know, they wouldn't be able to do all of the extras that they normally do, like behind the sofa, having everybody sitting on the sofa together. You know, there's a lot of stuff they do that kind of require people be in the same room. And, yeah. Fucking hell, how many seeds are down here? You know, I think I'll gut all of them just so they're ready to go and we can just chop, 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 get them all done. Let's do that. So let's do the yellow ones. Let's do that, and then we'll get the red ones too. One of the seeds landed in the bag. How wonderful. Okay. So let's do the yellow ones here, get them all emptied out. So, if you're ever, in a post-apocalyptic world and need to grow your own vegetables, peppers are like one of the easiest things you can grow. Basically what you do is you cut one in half like this without seeding it, and you literally fill up the pepper with dirt and then put it in a pot, and then just let it grow. It's pretty easy. And you can do that for any kind of pepper. It's almost like they have their own built-in seed, like earth container for the seeds. It's crazy. So you just put them in there, and then I guess when they get big enough, you transplant them. Or you can just put them right into your garden, whatever. Make sure they're watered. And there you go, and you can have like a whole plant, like a whole friggin' bush full of peppers. I don't know how long they take to grow. I imagine not too long. But, yeah. Apocalypse tips with Z. Apocalyptic gardening. There you go. Yeah, if I had my own garden, I would grow peppers all the time. Because they're just such a great addition to pretty much anything. There's so much you can do with them. That's that with those. Let's do this one. Yeah, I think red peppers seem to seed the easiest, or de-seed the easiest. There's none in there. It all came out when I popped the cork. Most of them did anyway. Good. Tomatoes. Yeah, tomatoes would be a good one too. You can get a lot out of just one plant, I guess we'll do the red ones since they're here. And they're kind of the last ones I'm doing. Look, it's a vagina. That totally looks like a vagina. Make sure you de-seed your vagina. Okay, looks good. Ah. Squirrels, yeah. Well, squirrels and rabbits. We have a lot of rabbits here in BC. Um, raccoons. Raccoons would be another one. But yeah, I mean, you can put up protective fencing or whatever. Main thing is to make sure the rain and the light can get in. Well, yeah, especially with animals rather than insects, because animals are clever. They're sneaky. Also stronger than insects, so I mean some of them could conceivably find a way through your fencing or whatever, or make a way through your fencing. And yeah. But that's all part of the fun, I guess. But that's definitely something I'd like to do at some point, especially given how expensive fresh vegetables can be. I think it would be great to be able to just grow my own, you know. Love to do peppers, maybe carrots, cucumber, lettuce. It'd be great to have a little orchard as well. Have some fruit trees, you know. Badgers. Badgers? 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 We don't need no stinking badgers. See, that's another thing where not everyone realizes that quote is from another movie. That is actually a parody of the original quote. The original quote was badges. We don't need no stinking badges. When Humphrey Bogart's character is confronted by some outlaw banditos in Treasure of the Sierra Madre. They're saying that they're U.S. Marshals or something, and he's like, well, if you're Marshals, where are your badges? And the guy's just like, badges? Badges? We don't need no stinking badges! Because, of course, he's onto them. But, great movie, by the way, Treasure of the Sierra Madre. If you've never seen it, do yourself a treat and see it. It's a very different character for Humphrey Bogart. He goes literally insane in that movie, and it's amazing to watch the process. Because he normally played, fairly heroic characters, and he's not particularly heroic in that one. He's almost a villain. Almost. But not quite. It's a little more complex than that. But it's a very good movie. Directed by John Ford, I think, who even has a cameo in it. Houston, sorry, John Huston, thank you. And it's without the O, it's Huston. It was John somebody. And his father, Walter Huston, plays the prospector who kind of is one of the main characters. It's wonderful. Walter Huston, who himself was an accomplished director as well as accomplished actor. He's great in that. Greetings, Dom. How's it going, dude? Sorry if I've neglected to say hi to anybody else. I don't always catch the chat when I'm cooking here. So if I missed anybody, I apologize. Hello, welcome, I love you. Unless you're somebody that I don't love. In which case, fuck you. Why are you even here? What is he prepping? Wow, no. I could have sworn I'd explained that like 6 times. I'm making breakfast hash. So all of this is going into a big breakfast hash smorgasbord mix, which will become clear once I get everything chopped up here and we actually mix everything together. You'll see what I'm doing. So basically, it's a breakfast concoction full of all kinds of goodness that I can just quickly throw in a pan and fry up in the morning without having to prepare anything. So I'm doing all the preparation now, you see. Ya see. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of preparation involved in this. We've literally been doing prep for the entire show so far. And what are we up to now? Almost 2 hours? No, about an hour and a half. Okay, that's not too bad. So I've been chopping these vegetables for about a half an hour. Earlier, you can see over here, we have the, that's breakfast sausage meat. So it's all seasoned with breakfast sausage seasoning. A special mix of spices that I found a little while ago. So that's going to go in there as well. There's going to be 4 different kinds of peppers, onions, breakfast sausage meat, and hash browns. Lots of hash browns. Just a stupid amount of hash browns. Okay, red peppers are done. Just got the yellow ones and the orange ones left. And once again, these are of course sweet peppers, they're not hot peppers. So there you go, getting a nice color. They say every day, try to eat a rainbow. So there you go, this will be my morning rainbow. Alright, let's do the orange ones. these all the way up here. Getting excited because we're getting to the end of the chopping. The mixing everything together is the fun part, because you just get in there with your hands and mix it all up, and it's wonderful. Very hands-on and stuff like that, you know. Alright, so we're going to try saving a little bit of time here. I guess I don't have on the screen what I'm making, do I? It's only on the title page. Oops! I used to actually have it on the screen, and I had like a slightly different layout for these cooking streams. But something had to go when I added the chat window into the streams. Really wanted to have the chat as a part of it. So, yeah. But it does say in the title of the stream as well. So we'll be doing a couple of things today. Going to be doing this, and I thought we'd also do my Alfredo. So we're doing breakfast and dinner today. Just want to get as much of the meal prep done, finished, complete as possible. Partly, you know, to make sure everything's still fresh in the fridge that I'm using, but also just to have it done, you know. Chopping almost done, and not a lot of ows. Yes, when I'm using the big knife, I tend to be a little extra careful, because I have cut myself before, and it's not fun. Funny enough, the last time I cut myself with this knife, get ready to cringe, was when I was chopping onions. So you can imagine how good that felt, having a gaping wound with onion juice pouring into it. Yeah. That was not fun. So ever since then, I have endeavored to be extra careful and slightly modified my cutting technique to minimize the chance of injury. Yeah. Chef Sean Cooking Show, that's right. I think my alarm clock is going off. I keep forgetting to turn it off. I'll go get that as soon as I finish this pepper here. Sure, that's delightful for the neighbors. Luckily, it's not so loud that you can hear it everywhere. It's really just, you can hear it if you're next to it. But it's not one of those obnoxious alarms that you can hear all over the world. I remember once when I was in university, I lived in residence there, which meant I was basically sharing a dorm with a bunch of other students. And there was one guy who I guess went away for the weekend, and he forgot to turn his alarm off, and his was like a really loud, obnoxious, so irritating alarm. And so all of us luckily I was on a floor with a bunch of engineering students, so we figured out a way to break into his room and turn his alarm off. So, actually, wait a minute. No, we didn't, because he knew the trick, where it used to be you could fish a coat hanger under the door and hook it on the handle and pull the handle down to open the door. But he knew that trick, so he had actually had his handle turned down. So he was also an engineering student, so he had his handles turning down so you couldn't hook onto it. So basically we had to listen to this fucking alarm going off for the entire weekend. So he finally gets back and we're like, dude, turn off your alarm. And then he just like starts laughing because he immediately knew what had happened. But I mean, what can you do about it, right? Like, it's done. But yeah, normally we would use the coat hanger trick to bust into the person's room and turn their alarm off, but this guy was too smart. Ugh. Too smart. Oh god, the smoke alarm was about, and it just keeps chirping. Chirp! Chirp! Yeah, that like ear piercing chirp. Ah, apparently I was thirsty. I'll be right back. Yep. Sure enough, it's been going for about a half an hour. I'm going to have a quick smoke break. I'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so we got a few more peppers to do. Then we're going to mix it all up and portion it off, and then we're going to cook one of them. So here we go. So for those of you who can't read the title or missed the explanation or whatever, we're making breakfast hash. And by the way, I wanted to mention all those of you who got gift subs, courtesy of Cheese Nips, check your emotes, because you should have 5 new emotes now of my goofy face that you can use for whatever nefarious purpose you decide. Well, in the chat anyway. In this chat and any other Twitch streams you go to. But why would you watch any other Twitch streams? I mean, this is the pinnacle of entertainment right here, folks. And greetings, Caspro, by the way. Hello, hello. You've missed some stuff. You basically missed me chopping a lot of vegetables. Oh, hold on. Not this bowl. This bowl. The other one already has the orange stuff in it, so there you go. Is this Fortnite? Totally. This is the new update. It's the cooking update, where you can make stuff and then eat it. It's amazing. I mean, look at the quality of the graphics. It's like you're there. Incredible. So you get an achievement if you manage to cut all the peppers without cutting yourself. Yeah. There you go. Thank you for the demonstration of the emotes there, Val. So tomorrow, of course, for those of you here at the live stream, tomorrow is Marathon Day. Needless to say, we'll be playing a lot of Fortnite because there was a huge update for Fortnite overnight. Basically, some new Iron Man related stuff, apparently. So we finally know what Tony was using all those energy mirrors for. And, well, I guess you'll have to wait and see what it was. But apparently it's a pretty big update. They added a lot of new stuff, so should be fun checking it out. Lots of new challenges. There's a new LTM mode apparently where you can do some stuff and all kinds of goodies. Okay, Mr. Animal Crossing, whatever you say. And Tetris 99 and No Man's Sky and whatever game you happen to be hooked on this week. I have to say, though, being a lifelong Marvel fan, this season is quite a treat. I can see why some of the hardcore Fortnite fans aren't as into it, because it's very Marvel-centric, and usually the seasons have more, original stuff. And any kind of guest characters like Deadpool or Aquaman are just that. They're guest characters and not like the entire world. But yeah, this is a pretty big event. I really want to check out the tie-in comics that they're doing for it. I'm assuming there will be some kind of trade paperback collection of them at some point. We are almost done with the peppers, ladies and gentlemen. We've only got 2 more after this. say he'll never play another game again. Oh, I will. I'll play at least one other game again. Like Fallout 3. And I did play Fall Guys for about an hour. So, you know, come on. I'm with it. I'm hip. I think I just need to kind of figure out some kind of routine or something where we can incorporate some other games into the mix. Because the problem is I haven't been playing Fortnite as much during the week, so when it comes to marathon time, it's like that's the first time I've had a chance to play whatever the new stuff is for that week. So it tends to just kind of dominate the marathon, which is fine. I mean, we all have fun, obviously, but you know, it'd be nice to mix things up a little more. But at least with all of this meal prep means, for a little while anyway, I won't have to take so much time away from gaming to make food, to have energy for gaming. So that'll be nice. Scary games, maybe? Maybe. I do have quite a multitude of scary games in the collection that we can play. I was thinking the next one I might want to do is Sanitarium. I've heard that one's really good. I think it's kind of a point and click one, but apparently great story, very scary, and just generally really good. A lot of people have recommended it to me, so, and I've had it for quite some time. So I think this Halloween would be a good time to play it. Nice to kind of have like maybe almost like a retro Halloween, like for gaming. Play some older games like Sanitarium. I think originally came out in the 90s sometime, and then I've also got the original Siren. I have it on the PS4. It's the PS2 version, but the PS2 version on PS4, so it's slightly nicer looking graphics. Deadly Premonition, yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I know you've been wanting me to play that one for a while. Well, originally, Alan Wake was going to be one of the Halloween selections, but it just enraged me so much. Like, I don't know if I ever want to go back to it. Alan Rage. It just put me off playing scary games forever. Yeah. I mean, I thought the story and everything was good. I just hated having the story interrupted all the time by that ridiculously cumbersome combat, dealing with those incredibly annoying enemies, and then realizing I had another like 8 chapters of them to deal with. But yeah, I liked the story. Maybe I'll get back to it someday. Now that I've completely forgotten all of the controls and will be even more enraged, trying to remember as I'm being pummeled by shadow creatures. Chopping faster because we're getting close to the end. I'm excited. Yes. Well, I've been told by many people it's very Twin Peaks-like. And funny enough, Alan Wake had a lot of Twin Peaks references in it too. I certainly liked those. Phantasmagoria. Actually, that's a really good suggestion too. I have both of them. I have not played them yet. Yeah, that'd be a really good suggestion actually, because I played the Seventh Guest a couple of Halloweens ago, and that was a combination of fun and infuriation. Mostly just, honestly, mostly just because of the lack of multitasking. Because it was an older game. So anytime it triggered like a voice clip or something, it wouldn't let me click on anything until the voice clip was finished. Alright, so this one's all done. We got all the peppers, all the onions in there. Next up we want to do this one. This is it, the last pepper. Ta-da! Love the first one, okay, but I'll hate the second one. I understand the second one is a good example of cheesy early FMV, which I'm sure would be entertaining in a different way. Like to play that. I've also got the Gabriel Knight series, which is one I've been wanting to play for quite a while. There's 2 or 3 of them. He's like a paranormal detective or something. Second one is good too, but for different reasons. Okay. Yeah, those are definitely some good sort of old school suggestions. I kind of like the idea of having a retro Halloween, playing some older games. They're not quite as stress-inducing as some of the modern games, like Outlast. But more just kind of fun and spooky and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. We'll figure out some stuff. Maybe do like a week. Have a week of just playing solid scary games all week, and then edit them and post them. don't think I'll do quite as many this year, maybe just one a day instead of two a day, like as far as the YouTube posts. So I still got Fortnite going throughout October, and then there will be Fortnitemares at some point, which I want to post when it's somewhat current. So we'll see. But I'm also looking to just kind of keep Halloween going indefinitely this year, rather than just do it in October. Make it the year of Halloween. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's a surprise. Except for you guys. Also, I don't know if I'm actually going to do that. But I think it'd be fun. To kind of take the time to actually work my way through my horror library that I've been building forever and haven't watched everything. That's all we have left. That's it. And all of the prep is done. I know, it felt like it was never going to end. But everything ends eventually. But you can see why I don't make this too often. It's because it takes forever to prep. But it's so good. Like, I know that future me will be so grateful that I did this. So I get to have these wonderful, delicious, flavor-filled breakfasts. Ow! No, just kidding. That was terrible acting. That wasn't convincing at all. You didn't believe me for a second, did you? Alright, there we go. So that is done. So now the fun part. In just a moment. I'm just doing kind of a quick wash of the cutting board because we're going to use it again when we make the Alfredo in a little bit. And then after that, I'm going to actually put it in the dishwasher. I like to put the cutting board in the dishwasher because then, of course, it sterilizes it. Look at that. It's a rainbow. Alright, so now just going to break all this up a little bit more. Yeah, it's all room temperature now, so just squish it between the fingers. Don't have to be gentle. Oh, it smells so good. It's the breakfast sausage. I little overdid the sage, just a smidge, but that's okay. I like sage, so it doesn't really bother me. Alright, so take a handful, put it in there. Take another handful, put it in there. Take a handful, put it in there. You may detect a pattern emerging. Figure my hand's already covered in it, I might as well just use my hand. So we basically want to evenly distribute between the two. There we go. Alright. So, I'll get the water going first. I need to wash our hands after. So essentially just get in there, mix it all up. Look at that. All those wonderful fresh ingredients. Beautiful. You see that? It actually smells really good too, with all the mix of peppers and the onions and the meats, and oh, I could just eat that. I could just fry that up and eat that. You know? So all these wonderful fresh ingredients. So now we're going to ruin them by putting frozen hash browns in there. I really need more dish detergent. I'm running low. Look at that. Oh, I thought I needed 2 packages for each thing, but I guess I didn't. I kind of want to though, so hold on a second. We're gonna do something a little crazy. We're gonna half and half this. This is making far more than I realized, so yeah. That's okay. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what we'll do? Hold on. We'll do this. Yeah, then we'll mix all this up. Then it's mixed. There. Now we can half and half it. There. Okay. Good. Sending it to Gordon Ramsay. Okay, so now there we go. Okay, this is making far more than I realized. So, awesome. There's actually enough room in this frying pan for the full amount. That's madness. That's how big this pan is. If you've ever wondered how much this actually holds, this basically holds almost 2 of these. Madness. Madness, I say. Okay, so we just mix it all around. And there we go. It's basically done. So, how many portions do you think we're going to get? With the breakfast hash, I fill the containers almost to the top because I like to have a lot for breakfast. Have a good hearty amount. So how many portions do you think it's going to be? How many containers are we going to fill with this, do you think? Easy bake oven. Dom actually says 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. That would be a hell of a breakfast. But no, I think my stomach would explode. Easy bake oven says 16. Well, let's find out here. Okay, so. Do I have? I don't even know how many of these I have. Well, however many this is, we'll use these until they run out, and then I'll grab a different one. Okay, so we got 8 of these. Well, these are definitely going to get filled up. Alright. Basically, just want to pretty much fill up the container, almost to the top, not quite. Yeah, about like that. That's a good hearty breakfast right there. Because it's also mixed in, you don't have to worry about what you're putting in each spoonful. It's all going to be good stuff. There's another reason I make a lot in a batch is because it fills the container a little more solidly than the pasta does. So this goes all over the counter. So it tends to settle a little more easily. It's kind of like when I would do rice as well. Rice settles more into the container than pasta. So pasta, you have more kind of space, like around the noodles and stuff. So, all right, so we got 4 out of this, which means we'll probably get about 4 out of this. Val says 12. And I'm going to eat one of them, just so you know. I'm going to portion them all off, but I'll eat one of them. There we go. I should count the scoops because the other containers aren't the same size. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit more. Okay, there we go. So those ones are done. So that's 8. So we got 8 so far. Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Can't wait to heat this up and put it in my mouth. I freeze it. Yeah, I freeze it, and then when I want one for the next morning, I'll take it out of the freezer so that it. Oh, whoops! Whoa, that could have been a disaster. So it's thawed just enough that I can give it a shake to kind of break everything up, and then it spreads out nicely in the pan. I find otherwise it's kind of a solid block of ice, and because there's a lot of moisture in there, especially with all the vegetables and stuff. So why do I have one more lid than I do container? Is there a stray container somewhere? Or did one crack and we tossed it? Or no idea. Anyway. Yeah, I'm really glad I decided to do this one because, of course, vegetables are the thing that keep the least amount of time in the fridge. So, yeah. Okay, so what else we got here? More containers, more containers. Boy, am I ever glad I bought new containers, because we would have run out. I've never made this volume of food before, so it's pretty crazy. I kind of wanted to save the other containers for the Alfredo, but I might have to dip into them a little bit here. Okay, so we got 4 containers here. So 4 scoops, right? So 1, 2, and a bit. About 2.5. Oh my God. Okay. And then half. Okay. And then 3 and 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, see, like this one is filled a little bit more to the top. It's because it doesn't hold quite as, it's a slightly different amount than the other one. So, like capacity, I should say. 2, 3, 4. So in the morning, when I want to have one of these, this is the only kind of meal prep I do that I don't do in the microwave when I heat it up. Basically, like I say, I take it out the night before. Put it in the fridge, not on the counter. I take it out the night before, and then in the morning, just fry it up in a pan. So fry it up in a pan with some margarine or butter, and it's great. It only takes a few minutes to fry up. You just keep stirring it so the hash browns get nice and golden brown. And then you get the nice smell of the onions frying and the peppers and the breakfast sausage, and it is just such a heavenly breakfast. Holy shit. Alright, so this is 4 more. So what do you have there? 8. So we're at 12 so far. Here, let's Let's put them all over here so you guys can see. Okay. What do I got left for containers? Okay, I got 3 more here that we can use. Pulling out like every container I have. Alright. Yeah. Alright. It's funny, I bought those other 16 containers on a whim. I just was thinking, like, you know, I'm planning to do a lot of meal prep. I wonder, should I get some more containers? I should be okay, but, you know, let's get a few more just in case. Really glad I did that, because if I didn't, this would be it. We would be stopping here. But because I did, I still have 16 new containers. And, you know, yeah, that looks pretty good. So that's 13, 14, 15. Hold on. First 2 of the new ones. There we go. How's that? Damn, envy making yourself some hash like a normal thing it is. Meanwhile, here in Germany, it's a little more stressful. Why is it more stressful? So we're at 15. I think Easy Bake Oven nailed it. Like, exactly. Because there is just enough in here for 1 more. Which makes 16. There you go. Where the hell did Twitch go? Back in there. There we go. Yeah, Easy Bake nailed it. Okay, now. First things first, just going to wash this pan here. And then we'll find room in the freezer for those. And I am really fucking hungry because I haven't eaten a damn thing today. So I'm going to make both of these and then we free up the container. And then we've got 16 containers that we can use for the Alfredo. So, I can put some in the bottom here. Can I do 3? No, that's going to be 2. And I can stack a few over there. There we go. So the rest will go in the other freezer. So let's move you guys over here. Just be a sec here. Oh, you're talking about hash, as in hashish? Yeah, that's not what this is. This is hash browns. It's a kind of, you know, potato. I guess they call it hash is the old term where it's like hashed up, you know? I don't know. Anyway. Oh, it actually smells like meaty pasta in here. Imagine that. Okay. There we go. Now, let's eat. I am freaking hungry. Smelling all this delicious food and Okily dokily. Potato, potato, hash, hash. Thanks for the bits, moist, crunchy potato. So moist and crunchy. Okay. Now. For frying it up, I like to use my other frying pan. It's this one here. This is the Rock from Starfrit. It's very nice indeed. I was going to make some eggs too, but you know what? I think the hash will be fine. More than adequate for my needs. So basically just put a big blob of butter or margarine in there. Maybe a little bit more. There. But this is a really nice style of non-stick pan. I've really fallen in love with it. You can get them on Amazon or Walmart. Starfrit, the Rock. I don't think it's officially endorsed by The Rock. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. All I know is they're really good non-stick pans. And I like them. Yes, apparently it is a very good update analog, especially for Marvel fans. There's so much more Marvel stuff that they're adding in this update for Marvel. Because Marvel, 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 Marvel. Just get the damn battle pass already. And hello, Michelle. Welcome. You missed the 2.5 hours of me chopping vegetables. But now, you can see I will be enjoying the fruits of my labor. I made some lovely breakfast hash here. I'm actually going to have 2 portions of it because I'm starving. I haven't eaten anything all day. And then, once we food up, we're going to take a short break. And, make some homemade chicken Alfredo pasta. That one will be almost entirely from scratch. Everything except the pasta. There we go. Yeah, see, I mean, 2 portions. Normally I wouldn't cook this much. In fact, I might even just have some of this left over. Now that I look at it in the pan, that might be a little insane in terms of portions. But that's okay. I'm hungry. Whatever I don't eat, I can nibble on while I'm making the other stuff. You know? There we go. Alright, so we'll just let that sit for a bit. Hungry foodie. Oh, they're re-releasing the Scott Pilgrim game? That is the first I've heard of that. That's excellent, dude. Considering I completely missed out on it the first time. I did have the demo. I was able to re-download the demo when I replaced the hard drive in my PS3. But, or was I? Was I able to re-download it? I can't remember. Anyway, good to hear it's coming back. We'll try not to miss out on it this time. Test. Was it a successful test, Cheese Nips? Ah, I see. Excellent. Wow, thanks, dude. Just announced the re-release today. Okay, yeah, I haven't, I have watched nothing today. Oh shit, Chelsea's here, I gotta go. Cancels download, yeah. Uh-huh. It's 5 a.m. now, I'm hungry. There we go, getting some nice sizzle going on here. Excellent. Of course, with these frozen hash browns, they're a little bit, they have like some oil on them as well, so I don't even know how much butter you actually really need to fry them up. I just like to do that for the, for the veggies and stuff as well. But it seems to work well. You just basically fry them up and keep kind of tossing them and flipping them around until you get a nice golden brown color on them. It's 8:03 p.m. Do you know where your children are? I was going to say it's 8:03 p.m. and here I am cooking breakfast. Just the way I roll, man. Just the way I roll. actually just give these other containers a quick rinse as well. I didn't expect to be using them so soon. But I guess also I wasn't expecting to be making such a huge volume of food. Or I underestimated how much I'd actually be making. I've literally gone through all of my containers, for those who just got here, through the sheer volume of food that I've made in the past 2 days. So I'm glad I bought 16 more containers the other day. I thought I was being excessive. Apparently not. Oh yeah, see now we're starting to get a nice smell. Love the smell of just this mix of stuff frying up. Got the onions, the peppers, the breakfast sausage, all of it. Smells so good. These are the new containers, basically just giving them a rinse. Who knows what kind of grubby hands were touching them in the stores, right? There we go. And these ones are all clean. I ran half of them through the dishwasher. Probably excessive, but I figured then it'll be nice and sterilized. Whatever, it's fine. That's just my paranoia talking. Oh yeah, now we got some nice heat going, so now it's frying up nice and quickly. Means we got to turn it more often. And just keep going till we start to see that color. I'm actually just going to dry these in the dishwasher rack because I'm out of space here. Using just hot water. Scalding hot water. good. See, this will be nice also when Rosie's here, because it means I'll be able to make us a nice, quick, and easy breakfast that's really good for you. So, yeah. See, I washed the colander and the pasta pot in anticipation of doing the Alfredo today. This is my worthless friend. I'm sure he appreciates you calling him that. Had the PT demo on his PS4, and I told him when he was having issues connecting to the internet, to sell that PS4 for a ridiculous price and make profit enough to buy himself another PS4, but he was too lazy and reset it to factory like an idiot. What? What? Oh my god. Like an idiot, making it substantially less valuable. Yeah, what a dork. Wow. Not very entrepreneurial minded he is. Yeah, no kidding, eh? Well, if we had Star Trek tech already, you could give me some breakfast here, 5:05. Have I mentioned I'm hungry now? Excellent. Says you should get the Thor skin for Fortnite or watch the Thor movies. Nah, I need to rewatch the Thor movies. That would require me to buy the Battle Pass, and that just isn't something I'm willing to do. You are, your stubbornness, you're going to regret that. You're going to regret it. You're going to be one Battle Pass short of content, and it's going to bother you forever. All because you got to be stubborn, and I'm an edgelord who doesn't do Marvel stuff. Say you're all about retro. What's more retro than Marvel? It's from the 60s. Come on. Jesus Christ. Get over yourself. Just buy the damn Battle Pass. Have fun with us with Battle Pass things from the Battle Pass. Gonna regret it. Water restrictions in BC? Not that I'm aware of. If there are, they haven't said anything to me. Ron Jeremy is under fire, aka the porn star, or did some fucked up shit. Oh, really? Great. Do I ever eat out once in a while, Casper asks? Yes, when it's not a pandemic. There's a few fast food places nearby. Like there's a Dairy Queen nearby that Rosie and I go to fairly often. There's what else? There's a Wendy's. There's Pita Pit. We love the Pita Pit. There's also a Chinese food place that we go to fairly often. It's like a Chinese food buffet place. We love that. That's like when Daddy has money, I treat us to Chinese food, and we go there, and it's wonderful. In fact, we go there so often they recognize us. It's like, oh hi, good to see you again. It's like, yeah, but oh yeah, it's nice. There's a few places. I don't know why. Yeah, there wouldn't be a water restriction here. We're not on fire. That's down south. Aw, Michelle. Michelle's gonna gift Analog the Battle Pass because she is also tired of him being a stubborn bitch. Excellent. Thanks, Michelle. I will consider it if I make it to level 100 before the season ends, and therefore I make profit. Yes. You're going to make it to level 100 anyway, dude. You just will. The new update is awesome. Yeah, I've heard that it's fantastic. You can't play for 2 weeks. Why? It's good for you to feel bad. This is why we love you, Michelle. You've got your sass. Vancouver is on water restrictions. Oh, okay. Maybe because it's the mainland? Probably because it's the mainland. Remember, I'm on an island. I'm not part of the mainland. Vancouver is not part of me and where I am. It's, I can see the mainland possibly being on water restrictions because that's the same coast and the same land, I guess, that California and Oregon and everything else is on. But we're not as privy to that here, as far as I'm aware. I mean, normally when they have water restrictions, they'll reduce the water pressure a bit or something, don't they? Hey, Great Red Shark, how's it going, dude? Yeah, feel free to hang out with us as long as you want to. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be on for a while today. Just making some food here. This is coming along nicely. Should be just about, I could probably eat it like this, but I like it to be a little crispier. Maybe we'll move over to the Halloween area to eat. I ate my pasta standing up the other day, and it just, I don't know, it wasn't as pleasant as it is to sit down, you know? You know what I mean? Know what I mean, Vern? Yeah, Vern. Fucking idiot. Fucking burn. Jeez. Alright. I have to remember to take the phone into the bedroom with me tonight when I go to bed. Apparently DHL, which is a courier service, has a package for me from Quack and Ryan Chataway. No, actually not Ryan Chataway. It's from Quack and my dear brother Cass. I have no idea what it is. It's a total surprise. I just got a message from Quack earlier today giving me the heads up that there's a package coming, but by the time I got the heads up, they had already attempted delivery and left a notice on my post office box, or my mailbox. So, yeah. I have sent the analog man the battle pass. 33 of us standing outside his kitchen just watching. God damn it, Michelle. You know I'm not going to thank you, right? Just kidding. Thank you. You pulled a muscle in your shoulder. Oh, is that why you're not playing? Were you playing too aggressively? Aww. Start building is the hottest fucking drop ever. Legit insanity. Oh, you checked. You went? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it is. Well, we'll give it a few days. It'll cool down. Potentially. Maybe. Probably not. But like I was saying to you in the chat earlier, probably a really good time to hit Doom's domain. Because everybody's going to want Stark's laser. Or whatever the fuck it is. Managed to swipe the Iron Man powers. They're not actually all that good. Holy moly, cheese nips! Dropping the sub bombs again. Dude, you're on fire today. Thank you so much. Ah, the new Thor ability is the fucking shit. Pure devastation raining down. Nice. Well, he is the god of thunder. Alright. I remember you describing earlier someone with the Iron Man power just melting through things. Alright, I think that looks about done. Pretty good. It doesn't get quite as golden brown as when I do the homemade potatoes, but that's okay. Oh, that looks so good. Smells amazing. Holy shit. No idea. Yep, this is far more than I needed to make. I don't know. Will this bowl even be able to contain all of it? Let's find out. Yeah, I could have made like literally half of this. But you see why I put so much in the containers now, right? Because one of those containers will basically be, well, half of that basically. But it's a pretty significant amount. All right, let's bring you guys over this way. All the subs are still going. Excellent. Yeah, good. I think a little too much light there. Here, let's try this. Slightly different angle. There. Sure, why not? Okay. Okay. Eating time. Eating time. Do 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 do. Eating time. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. I hope it was the remastered director's cut version, because that's the best one to get. And the only one of the classic Star Trek movies to get a remaster. Oh, okay. Let's, where can I put this that I can see it easily? Maybe on a stack of Blu-rays. Hold on. I'll put that here. Move this up. And I'll put this stand on there. Then I can put this right there. There we go. Ah. Oh my fucking god, Analyst. Fine, I'll try to fix it. Because it's a shitty older camera, that's why. I only have one 60 frames per second camera. The most that camera can do is 30 frames per second, but after a while it just gives up and goes to 15 because it's old and shitty. So, but it does do 1080p. Stoudman just had Alfredo. Excellent. Did I inspire you? Free stuff on Fortnite today. You have to log in. Okay, I will do that. Basically, I just put the other one here rather than staring at the stove, just so you'd have another angle of the, of the Halloween set while I'm eating. This is really fucking good, by the way. And Crolatin shows up right after the gifted subs. Perfect timing. The thing I love about this, because of the variety of ingredients, it's like every bite gives you a slightly different mix of flavors. And every mix of those flavors is delicious. It's wonderful. Yes, my Halloween dining room. Do I follow Michael Rosebum on YouTube? I have no idea who the fuck you're talking about, dude. Whoa, Cheese Nips dropping the bit bomb. Thanks, dude. 25 megabytes a second. The guy who played Lex Luthor. In what? You have any idea how many Lex Luthors there's been? Which one? Oh, Smallville. That show I've told you 1,000 times. I've never seen a single episode of. No. You're like that actor who plays James Bond. That guy who played Batman was great. Did you know that guy who plays Batman has a YouTube channel? The guy who played Batman? That guy? He was Batman, you know? Smaygown, dropping the puppy bits. Thanks, dude. Actually hated the woman who played Lois Lane on it. You know who I really liked as Lois Lane was Terry Hatcher on the Lois and Clark series. My Batman theory is gonna blow your mind. You like the red better, okay. You replied to my comment on Halloween closer look video. Okay, I did. Cool. Did I say something nice or did I rip you a new asshole? Was this recently or like 3 years ago? Do you plan to do a review of the new Halloween movie from Adam Sandler coming to Netflix? I don't know. I was not aware there was one. Oh, did you? Iceman? I like how you guys make reference to all these things when I'm literally on the other side of the apartment from the computer and can't look at any of these things you're talking about because I'm over here and the computer's over there. A robot head? Oh, you're talking about that? It's, yeah, basically. Holy shit, did you see Twitter today? Oh, never mind. Yeah. No, let me drop everything and go look. How was that? No idea. But find out later when I step on it and it jabs itself into my foot. Normally that head has a mask on it. One of my skull masks, typically. And yes. Yes, he is. This is perfect. I should have a stack of Blu-rays on my desk all the time. Or on my table all the time. This is like the perfect height and the perfect distance for me to read without my glasses. It's so relaxing, being able to read while I eat. Halloween H2O was originally on Blu-ray by Echo Bridge. Oh, that comment. Okay. Yeah, I know. The version in the Scream Factory set is much better. Well, I think everybody's happy when they have Alfredo. Yes, that is her analog. It's through her husband's old account that he doesn't use anymore. Or something like that. Oh, really? Well, I'm glad somebody's finally stepped up and started releasing some Paramount stuff. Holy shit. Like Paramount has just been letting the whole high-def world slip by them. Such a huge library of catalog titles just sitting there collecting dust. It's like, why aren't you releasing these? You know? I'm enjoying the fruits of my cooking right now for anybody lurking. Hello. Gonna cook some more in a few minutes here. Just chilling, chatting. What is it supposed to be? 2.35? I don't have all the aspect ratios of every movie I've ever seen memorized. I'm sorry. My body is ready for chicken Alfredo cooking. Oh yeah. See, this one is wonderful. I'm so glad I took the time to look up how to do the sauce. Because now I've basically memorized it. It is 235, okay. Yeah, that was the problem with Echo Bridge was... They made... With Echo Bridge, they would crop everything to 178. So it's like They made 178, the new full screen. I just gotta go wipe my nose. I'll be right back. Yeah, so anyway, fuck Echo Bridge. Absolute garbage releases. I mean, the transfers themselves were generally okay. I mean, they would get whatever the studio provided, but the cropping was just rampant. They basically made 16 by 9 the new full screen and just put everything in full, no black bars anywhere, 16 by 9. Thinking, oh, this is what the people want. No. No. It really isn't. You fucks. So, yeah, fortunately a lot of their bigger titles have since been re-released and corrected, but those 178 prints are still floating around. Like what Nerd Guy said, apparently the Paramount re-release of the Halloween triple feature will feature those versions, which is bullshit. Hate that crap. Oh, really? Stout. I should check and see if I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered that. I'll have to double check, but that's fantastic. That's such a good deal. So that's like less than $4 a movie now. That's amazing. Do I like any Ari Aster? I love Ari Aster, dude. I think he's one of the new up-and-coming, he's one of the people to watch for horror. Loved Hereditary, loved Midsommar. Brilliant, scary, properly disturbing, devastatingly original horror films. Very, very good. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing whatever he has next for us. I actually just saw them for the first time recently, too. Okay. That was yummy. The special edition, are you talking about the director's cut? My understanding was the director's cut wasn't even released here at all. It was only released in the UK. Did we get it here at some point, but in ridiculously limited fashion? I thought I heard some rumor that it was coming. Yeah, you know, another one like that for me, Luke, was Dr. Sleep. It did not feel like the director's cut of Dr. Sleep, it did not feel like 3 hours. Oh, well, what the fuck? And it's gone now, I'm guessing. Out of print, out of stock, gone forever. Like, oh, okay, that's great. Would have been nice to, you know, tell someone about that. It's bullshit. Cuties. Oh, is that the one about the kids who were, like, do, like, dancing or something, and it's all about, like, how they're objectified? Is that the one? I remember there was some controversy about the chosen poster art that Netflix US had versus Netflix everywhere else. Yeah, yeah. Well, that was the idea. It was supposed to be a documentary against that and about how it's wrong. The problem was the poster that they chose. I didn't think there was a problem with it personally because I thought it was, relevant to the subject matter. But a lot of people were up in arms because the U.S. Netflix poster depicted them almost in like sexy poses, and these are like kids that are like 10, 11 years old, um, and a lot of people just felt that that was inappropriate. I can see both sides of that. I don't think there's really a wrong in that case. It's more down to, um, you know, personal beliefs, I guess. Um, in my case, I mean, the whole documentary is about the sexualization of children in that way and why it's wrong. So the poster was kind of relevant. But on the flip side, I mean, the other poster showed them being more as just kids out having fun and doing kid things, um, which also is relevant because it's like showing this is what their childhood should be like. So Netflix US showed this is what their childhood is being turned into. So it's like they're both relevant to the subject matter of the thing. But yeah. Well, yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, if you're going to have a subject like that, you have to show the wrong thing as well to kind of illustrate the wrongness. So, I don't know. It's definitely, I mean, it's a touchy subject to be dealing with in the first place. So, I mean, regardless, I think there's going to be controversy surrounding anything that deals with that type of subject matter. So, aw, thanks, Chelsea. We love you too. Hugs for Chelsea. And some hugs for Sandy too, because we don't want Sandy to feel left out. That's right. Sandy is Chelsea's dog, for those who don't know. Yeah, what is it? Stout says. Problem is that it's like, sure, the message is positive, but how many people are going to be watching it just to see little kids dancing like that? Well, again, I mean, that's sadly a thing that will happen regardless. I mean, we're talking about perverts who look at Facebook family photos and find something erotic about them. I mean, people in that mindset are fucked in the head to begin with. And they're going to find their gratification anywhere and everywhere that they possibly can. Um, so, yeah. And Stout says, personally, I'm with the artist. Be as honest as possible about the issue and depict it as it is. Exactly. Exactly. Like Elephant, the Gus Van Sant movie, talks about school shootings and a very brutal, realistic, true to life thing. And some people took that, look at that, and say it goes too far, and some say it even glorifies it. But no, it's just a study of the problem. Castro's like, this is too dark of a subject. Let's cook. All right, I'm gonna go smoke, and then let's make some chicken Alfredo and use up the last of my containers. So now the trick will be, can we fit all of the chicken Alfredo into the 16 containers? Actually, yes, I think we can, because I'm not going to make 16 containers worth. I'm going to make about, I don't know, maybe half of what I have. Maybe I'll make all of it. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Anyway, I'll be back. So, just sort of a final word on that subject. Well, I understand. Hold on. While I understand the importance of such documentaries existing and exposing such things, and I wholeheartedly approve of that, showing the wrongness, it's not something that I personally would ever really want to watch. For the same reason that I didn't like I never watched that show that, what was it? The one that Honey Boo Boo came out of. The one that was about the kids' beauty pageants and stuff. Because as a parent, seeing that kind of shit just angers me. It just makes me feel angry. And I just want to punch all the parents in the teeth for exploiting their children in that way. I feel like it's incredible, like the whole beauty pageant thing and whatnot, and now I guess this sexy dancing thing or whatever the fuck it is so detrimental to the natural, normal development of a child, in particular with regards to their sense of self-worth. They get like an unrealistic expectation of how they are expected to look and act and present themselves at an age that is far too young to be able to really understand and, adapt and I don't know. It's just very damaging, I think, to the kids that are involved in those things. And it angers me. It infuriates me as, the whole... Throughout Rosie's childhood, I was very big on just letting her be a kid and enjoy kid things and have fun being a kid, And, I hate shit like that. I hate that those things exist to have documentaries made about them to show people why they're wrong. Like, it should be inherently obvious that they're wrong and they shouldn't exist in the first place. That's my opinion. So, exactly. Bottom line, don't sexualize children. Don't put them in fucking beauty pageants where they're taught, questionable values about what the standards of beauty are. And, Well, yeah, and as Val says, it's pathetic for the parents trying to live through their child in that way. Exactly. And Analog says, as a non-parent, it angers me and makes me want to punch the parents of the exploited children in the face. Well, there you go, see? Because we're normal, rational people. Toddlers and in tiaras, that's what it was. I knew it was something with tiara, I couldn't remember what it was. But, yeah, what a horrible concept for a show. And the fact that it went on as long as it did and was as popular as it was, I think really shows just how fucked up our society is. Yep. Alright. Let's go back to the kitchen. Let's make more food. There, that looks good. Okay. So bring the MyRock phone back over. Bring the Chimera back over. I'm just going to do a quick break and a stream marker just for the change in cooking subjects. That's great. Good enough. Alright, here we go. Why? Well, you're right next to the fridge. What do you expect? Here, I'll move it over a bit. There. Is that better? See, now you understand why I get so annoyed when the fridge goes off. Because you're just hearing it through the mic, but hearing it in the room, it's actually much more noticeable.